And we are now live, 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 live. Handheld mic and everything. I'm giving this a chance because people keep whinging about my not the audio. So how are you, mate? How's things?
Oh, they're good. Obviously we had a good weekend, so
Yeah, I was gonna say,
um,
why is it good? I don't understand. Why have you had a good weekend? I don't get it.
we'll get into that, buddy.
I know,
Um,
I know. I can't wait. I can't wait. So yeah,
uh,
we got a little bit on this championship, the weekend, what's coming forward, and I got a little bit about a bit of a coaching update as well to see where we are with coaching as well. Got a tracker thing as well. So yeah, um,
okay,
I think there's a few people coming in now, so we might as well get started. You created this, so there you go, mate. You over to you.
all right. Yeah, we'll get into that. For what it's worth, I think you sound fine, Dylan. So
Thanks, mate.
like,
Good.
I,
Glad.
I don't hate any of the sound. But anyways, yeah. So we had an interesting weekend of games.
We
Uh,
did.
it was a lot of fun. So before we get into that, and I was gonna make one, and then I was like, "No, we don't need to make one," and now I'm regretting not making one. For the scores, because I don't know that everybody caught all this weekend's action, so we should go over scores and kind of how stuff went.
Yeah,
And
yeah, that's fine. We got Nathan. Do you remember Nathan? Josie's
oh
wife,
yeah,
husband.
yeah,
Sorry. So you
same
and
difference.
Josie. Enemies, enemies, enemies. Yeah, I'm siding with. I have to side with Josie, obviously, in public anyway. So, so yeah. How you doing, Nathan? How you doing, my friend? Thanks for popping in, my friend. It's good to see you again.
that's
Over
not
footy.
that's not what that message was. You said go Lions, I think.
I don't say. I'm waiting till my pick to say stuff. Do you know what I mean? So, try
Gotcha.
to be, try to play you both off.
um. So yeah. Hang
Have
on.
you got scores there? Have you? Do you? Or do you want me to look at NFL scores or something?
No, I got it. Sorry. I have this thing where I cannot type and text or type and
No, I'm
talk
the
at the
same.
same time. It just
I'm the same.
messes with my brain. So,
Yeah.
um, so yeah, we'll start off with the first game that we had up. Ravens absolutely dismantled the Texans. It was a close game at first, and then it got out of
Yeah.
hand. So,
Yeah.
um,
Yeah. It did. But before you go into it, shout out to Josie as well. I
hey,
love
Josie.
Josie. Thanks, Josie. As always, prompt, always here. So look at her. Yeah, I agree. I honestly, there was a part of me with the Texans against Baltimore. I was like, no, they're not. They're not going to do it again, are they? They're not going to do it again. And then halftime, nah, demolished. But as I've said, or I stand by my stance, they were my team of the year. If I had to vote, they're definitely my team of the year because of where they ended up. They can be very proud of themselves. And yeah, go Texans.
Yeah, no, I think Houston had a great season given kind of what they were up against and what they were doing there. Um, so yeah, I'm not mad at them. I think they played well all year and ran into what I think is the best team in football. So
Hmm.
and played a good half. I mean, it's 10-10 at half, and then it was all Baltimore in the second quarter or in the second half. I mean,
Yeah,
touchdown, 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 field goal. Like it was a runaway from that point.
yeah,
I don't know. Lamar, there's always this there's always this thing where Lamar Jackson can't win in the playoffs. I think he's dispelled that for now. Um, we'll see. It's going to be a good matchup this weekend, so we'll get to that one.
yeah,
But yeah, 34-10 was the final, and like I said, good until halftime, and then they kind of ran away with it.
yeah.
Um, So we'll do the other AFC game, and then yeah. So Chiefs Bills. Yeah, that was a fun game to watch. Bills kicker missed a field goal. That's pretty typical for the Bills to have a kicker that misses a field goal, though.
Yeah.
They do that quite often. So yeah, I mean that one was back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. It was probably the best and closest game, most fun to watch. But I think I said that going into it too. So
Yeah, I only watched the 40-minute highlight of it because
oh
it's on at like 1:30 in the morning for me. So or late, it's on late anyway for me. So I can't really stay up and justify because I've got to get up at like 7 o'clock in the morning. Um, so there's that. From what I saw, I thought it was a close game. I said before going into the Bills should win it, but the Kansas City will win it. So hey, I'm like some sort of god with these predictions. I'm not even sure I've got one wrong yet. If I'm being honest with you, I don't think I have. To be quite
yeah,
honest, I'm a betting machine. FanDuel, whoever, ESPN, just come and sponsor us. Do you know what I mean?
yeah,
Actually, they
hell
won't.
yeah.
They won't because I get all the picks right. Um, so I was just like, you know what? From what I saw, same old Bills. It's interesting what Nathan's saying here because I had the same thought myself. Do you think the Bills fire McDermott and go for Billy B? I don't think they go for
Mm,
Billy B, but I just don't think they can just. People might think I'm mad here, but I don't think you just like re-up McDermott. I think it, the team the team he's had has been built around for him has been exceptional, and they've done nothing with it. Most of the players now are their contracts are up. Um, there has to be a decision made about who they're going to keep, who they're going to draft. I think they keep Bean. I think he's a very good GM, but I would highly, highly consider getting rid of McDermott. I think the quality of players that he's had at his disposal with a quarterback like Josh Allen and they've not achieved anything. And I think that they seem to be going backwards, not forwards. And
mm,
I just think it's time to blow it up and just bring someone else in. I know people say spell the devil you know, and it's he's still got the playoffs. Look what he's achieved, but yeah, it's great. But look at Nick Sirianni; he nearly got chopped, and he went to the Super Bowl last year. So I think there's a line there. I don't think Billy B goes in there. I think he would be good, don't get me wrong, but I do think that they will bring in, well, they should consider bringing someone else in, but they won't. The Bills will do the Bills. They'll carry on until they are a not playoff team again, and they'll waste Josh Allen's career, and they'll waste most people's careers, I think. So, until because they're quite loyal in Buffalo, so
yeah.
I don't think they should be. So,
Um, I was trying to look real quick. When's Josh Allen's next contract year? Josh Allen contract. Oh
um,
shit, he's signed through
it's a big
uh
contract.
28.
Yeah, big contract.
So another 4 years. Nah, they'll probably keep everybody in place. I was thinking if he's coming up on a contract, then maybe you clean house and start
Well,
over.
I
But
think Diggs is up, as in I think Diggs' next contract is like 30. It's big, so I
okay.
don't think they can't afford everybody. They have to get rid of some people. I saw a tweet about it yesterday or today about it, and they listed all the free agents, and they can't keep them all because of the cap.
Mhm.
So who they going to get rid of and stuff like that. I I think that they go, I'll get 47 million next year. Nathan's saying, I don't have that for me, but Diggs is getting a big number next year. Kate Davis, he wants to get paid. As a wide receiver too, he's not getting paid at the minute. Um, they're lucky they got a couple of good rookie contracts still on there, but
Mhm.
some of the old line they're coming up. You've got who's that? What's his name? First round pick, D lineman, Ed something his name is.
Matt
Um,
Oliver. Yep.
Yeah, he's coming up. If he's not up already, he's coming up this year for a new contract. Um, they got pieces to pay, man. I
Yeah.
don't think they can run it back. I think that's the problem. So
Steph is signed through 27.
yeah,
So he's Steph Diggs. So he's got another 3 years, but yeah, and actually Ed Oliver signed through 28. So
the,
that's
the only
crazy.
thing I'd
But
say though is you know some of these contracts are like they just make them up, don't they? Do you know what I mean?
oh yeah,
And they will catch up. They will catch up with them in the end. So I think that with Diggs and all that, I think they're about to be caught up, type of thing. Their contracts, from what I gather. So I don't know. I don't think they can run. If they can run it back, great. But would you not want somebody else in there
right.
leading that ship? Um, yeah, that's where I'm at with it. I'm with Nathan here. As I say, I'm not sure about Billy B, but I do think somebody in there other than Sean McDermott. I think.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I mean I can see that. Here's a crazy contract. Von Miller is signed through 2027. Um, and his cap number is in 27 is going to be $30 million
Yeah,
for
yeah,
a 40-year-old Von Miller.
yeah.
Uh, wow.
I
Yeah.
was watching Pat McAfee last year when he was trying to go through all these contracts with Rappaport and
Mhm.
Ian, and like Pat said, basically all these contracts are bullshit. They're all made
Oh
up
yeah. Yeah.
because, but there's a year where you all catch up with them,
Mhm.
and that's where I'm like, when is that going to catch up? Is it this year or next year? Because it's bound to be in the next 2 years that something has to give. Nathan says here, what do you guys think of the Bills fans last night? Kind of class of snowballs all game. I didn't see that, if I'm being honest, because I was on highlights. So over to you, Mikey.
Typical East Coast fan base. I mean, the Eagles are the worst, and then you have the Bills. So I mean, it's not terribly uncommon. Um, I think it's classless and kind of terrible, but it's not terribly uncommon, unfortunately.
But
Um,
I know last year, the year before, that they used to throw dildos on the pitch, didn't they? On the field,
mhm. Yeah, I mean
dildos is what
that's
they used to put for it.
that's
Uh,
happened.
I, I did read as well this morning that they were really throwing snowballs at Patrick Mahomes whilst he was trying to go and give a gift to one of the fans. I didn't like that. Do you know what I mean? Stuff like that. I don't like stuff like that. You just don't
Yeah.
do that. But the most thing that I saw was Kelsey be topless, in jumping in and out with the crowd. I liked that. I thought that was funny. But I didn't see all the other bits. It's only that bit I saw. So yeah,
Yeah.
that's not good. I think also the Buffalo Bills were always a team. When I started watching 4 or 5 years ago, the Lions, Browns, Bills, they were all on their asses and everyone loved them. Do you know what I mean? It's
Mhm.
like, yeah, and I love the Bills, what they do, jump. But I do think that they got a bit carried away with the success. I think they've got a bit arrogant now. As they do stuff like that, I don't personally like it. I hope
Yeah.
the Lions don't turn out to be the same. I really do hope that because Lions fans have always been fantastic, blue collar, and Buffalo's supposed to be blue collar, but you don't chuck fucking stuff around kids and
Right.
players. You just don't do it, So I
Right.
don't know.
Um. So here's kind of a coming into 24, the cap breakdown. New
Okay,
Orleans is nearly $100 million over the cap
yeah,
with no.
standard.
I mean, they
They
have
are every year.
yeah. They have Derek Carr, who has a $40 million cap hit for Derek Carr, who's not even playing
Ooh,
quarterback for him. And if they, I think he signed for 3 more years, isn't he? Uh,
oh, bloody hell!
yeah, 27, so 3 more years. Um, and if they cut him, the dead money is 52 million. So, like, they can't, they
Wow,
can't cut him,
yeah,
like you say.
no,
Um,
wow.
but
Hang
yeah,
on, before you go on, Sarah P's a
yeah.
late but here. She's always late. Congrats on the win. Coming to our house. Let's go. Let's
I'm
go,
excited.
Sarah P. And Josie's here as well. And Nathan. Sorry, mate. Sorry to cut you off there. Just want to get that in.
No, no, you're totally fine. Um, Yeah, I mean, they're a mess. The Chargers are also a mess. They are second with 44 million over. And then the Buffalo Bills are third with 43 million over. And Buffalo doesn't have anywhere to go. I mean, you cut Von Miller, then you have 40 million worth of dead cap. I mean, you're not cutting Josh Allen. That's 100 million in dead cap. That would be, I mean,
Yeah,
you have
it's
Tre'Davious
Diggs
White,
30 or something. Well,
Diggs is 27,
there we are.
27.8 million. So he's not going anywhere. Let's see. Yeah, I mean it's crazy. Like they've not done well against the cap at all. I mean Tre'Davious White is still signed and not going to be cuttable. He's going to be 70 million. Like the Bills are in trouble
Ooh.
and they missed their window and they're going to be bad. They're going to be really
Yeah,
bad.
they had a 3-4 year window and they
Mhm.
wasted it.
Yep.
Obviously, you don't know if you're going to ever succeed with a Super Bowl, right? But
Right.
they did not even come close
Mhm.
to winning it. That's the thing. If they made the Super Bowl, then fair enough. But he's not even been close to it.
Right.
So that's why he has to go, in my opinion. Obviously, he won't. But it's the same with Poyer and a few of the others. They're gonna be gone. Can't see them sticking around. It's what they like. The Rams did it in the sense of obviously the Rams and the Lions. People say who won? Neither won, right? I don't think so. I think both won because you are on a hot run now and you've got a great team with Detroit.
Mhm.
But also the Rams won a Super Bowl. So, I think it's 50-50 who won out of that. I'm sure you will say that you won because of the team you've now got. But on the flip side, they did win a Super Bowl. Do you know what I mean? So, and that's basically all that counts as a Super Bowl. So
Right.
I just don't see like Buffalo. Jesus, they're gonna have to destroy everything
Mhm.
and suck for the next couple of years and see what happens. But this is where you got to have the kahunas to do the big moves, like get rid of Sean McDermott, just get rid of him
Mhm.
and
Yeah.
reset the market. You know,
Yeah, but I don't see him. I don't see him doing that honestly. But
Pagulias they will never do
uh,
it.
yeah, I mean, I'm surprised on how many teams are in trouble. I mean, Miami's in trouble, big trouble with Cap. Denver's in
Yeah,
trouble. Cleveland's in trouble. Dallas is in trouble. Pittsburgh. So I mean, some of these teams are terrible, and to have cap numbers like that is insane.
yeah,
Um, you know who's not in trouble?
Lions.
The Honolulu Blue and Silver.
There
We
we
actually
are.
61 million left over in cap space.
Good position.
Yeah.
What about the Niners?
San Francisco's about even. They have 300,000 in cap space, so nowhere to do anything, but they're still
No,
okay,
but
and
that
there'll be some restructures and stuff like that. But
yeah,
yeah,
that's impressive though. Yeah,
yeah,
but they're able to do it because no quarterback.
hmm
What's going to
yeah,
happen when the quarterback comes in? That's
right,
when San Francisco going to have to blow it up then and be like, who will lose it? Because
hmm
Chase Young, he wants to be paid. I'm not sure if he's been paid at the minute. Um, that D line wants to be paid. Obviously, they're paying some already. O line, Purdy, he's going to want to be paid, but he's not worth 50 million a year, Purdy. So
no,
um,
no,
he needs to pipe down and get like 25 and then be happy with it. Um, otherwise they'll just get another quarterback in to do exactly what he's doing. So
hmm
um, otherwise, Niners are fucked. But anyway,
yeah.
that's another conversation. So
I mean, yeah, there's going to be a lot of those quarterbacks. Geno Smith, Baker. There's going to be a lot of those guys that are going to have to take mid money, that are going to have to take that 20-25 million
yeah,
dollars and be happy with it because if not, I think people are going to move on. So
and I think people like Baker's gonna be happy. I think Baker could be happy 25, 30. I think
mhm,
he's worth that. I think he is worth that genuinely. I think he would take. I think he knows where he is at the market. He knows he's not a 50 million a year. I think he likes owning a team, being control of the team. I think he wants to be the number one. I thought he's got that in Tampa now. I think if they offered him 25 to 30, I think he'd be more than happy with that. I think.
Yeah. No, I completely agree. So again, San Francisco is going to have a rough offseason. Chase Young needs to get paid. Javon Kinlaw, Leland Farrell,
Farrell's
Gregory.
got
Yeah.
Farrell's on like a 1 million contract or something. Farrell's he's a bust. Farrell is so. You know, fourth pick of the draft. What are the Raiders thinking about? What a bunch of idiots. He was never a fourth pick in the draft, so they might keep him on like a minimum contract, and he might just take it because, you know, he knows he's in for a chance to win Super Bowls with the Niners. Otherwise, where else is he going to go? Do you know what I mean? So.
Yeah. Damn, they have wow. I mean, that could be a whole show in its own, and probably should be. So maybe we'll.
Let's do another show on that. Let's do another show on that.
But yeah, so just to say all that to say that I think both Kansas City and Buffalo, Kansas City still somehow has 20 million in cap space. Have no idea how. Especially when you're paying Mahomes $60 million a year. Crazy. But anyways, I think both teams are. I think it was a good game, and it was a lot of fun to watch. But yeah, the Bills they're almost as bad as the damn Cowboys with Choke Central. So almost. But yeah, so that game was fun to watch. I enjoyed watching it. And then we'll go on to the NFC. So the San Francisco 49ers barely escaped a win at home against the Green Bay Packers. Barely.
Yeah.
If it wasn't for, that late touchdown, they would have been in trouble. Realistically, I think Green Bay has a lot to look forward to and a lot to look up to. And I think San Francisco showed that they could be beat. And maybe they aren't as good as we thought they were, but maybe they are better. I don't know. I still have, obviously I have a bias with what's coming up this weekend. But I just didn't think they didn't look like what I was sold, where they're, these world beaters that nobody can touch. I just didn't see that in the game. So
yeah, fair. It was the girls just said it was an ugly game. It was absolutely ugly. It was that was not good. Green Bay can look at that game and go, how did we lose that? I think they were very unlucky to lose that game. Overall, I think they probably deserved to win it, Green Bay, because I mean, Jay Love was throwing it. He was balling. I bow down to you. He is their franchise quarterback. After what I've seen there, he was fantastic. There's not much to say on it. I just think San Francisco 49ers, they sucked. You said Green Bay Packers money line. That nearly came through as being true. But obviously you're still wrong, and I'm still the king of these wins. I'm only kidding. But I didn't expect that. To be quite honest. I think the Packers have got a very good team for the future, very strong team for the future. I think.
Yeah. It's not a runaway win when you have to score with a minute left to win it. So, but again, really competitive game, really fun game to watch. I just thought there was going to be more. I was kind of disappointed, and but yeah. So that takes us to the most important game on the schedule.
Yeah.
Tampa Bay fighting Baker Mayfield's try to come into Detroit, and
Yeah.
it's not going to happen.
No.
The game was further away than I think it should have been. I mean, like, without that late touchdown, the Lions kind of dominated that second half. It was, again, close game, 10-10 at half, and then, I mean, I guess at the end of the third it was 17-17, but the Lions seemed to kind of pull away. And then there was a kind of that garbage time touchdown, but I think the Lions played better than the final score, which was 31-23. And yeah, I mean, they look good. They look gritty as all hell. And they look like they're going to be a tough team to knock off. So
yeah, I agree. I think the Lions were the best team. I think he was on par up until half time, and then after that, I think the Lions didn't pull away from that. But give credit to Tampa Bay. I think most people wrote them off coming into Detroit.
yeah.
I thought they put up a fight. I thought they did very well, considering didn't. You're never safe in the NFL. You're never safe. Doesn't matter if you're 2 points as 2 scores ahead. You're never there. But for some reason, whenever they came back, the Lions had an answer. It seemed so in the second half. So I always thought, well, doesn't matter if they score here, Tampa Bay. I think the Lions going to match it. I always felt quite comfortable in the game. So I thought the defense was outstanding for the Lions. I thought they played a good game. I thought Aaron Glenn called a very good game for the defense. I was quite impressed with him, actually. Josie saying I kept cheering for the Lions and was like, no, I don't want them next week. I was in the same Josie. So yeah, I think it's a deserved win. I thought it played out like a playoff should. I think that they were like 6 points favourites or something like that, and I think that Vegas got it right with that line.
Yeah, no, I think so. I think so as well. Goff looked great. He didn't mess anything up. 30 for 43, 287 and 2 touchdowns. I mean, he's doing what we need Jared Goff to do. So I was really pleased. Unlike the Rams game last week, I never felt like this one was in doubt. Like
I agree. I agree.
We always seemed like we had, like it. Like it wasn't. There was never a question of, to me at least, like, oh, we're gonna get screwed here, that kind of deal. So
yeah, I agree.
So I was really happy with the performance. So, and that takes us to this weekend's games. So I'm going to start off with the American Football Conference, or the AFC. Kansas City Chiefs at Baltimore. Baltimore opens as -3. This one's going to be Sunday at 3 p.m. Eastern on CBS. So it's going to be a good matchup.
A game. I'll go, because I know you're a pussy. I'll go first here, so I'll put my mark down here. Baltimore going to win this.
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to be that close. In the end, I think when we say close, I think it'll be between 3 and 6 points. But I think there'll be control on this game. I love Kansas City, and I said last week they build it, don't underestimate them. But after seeing Baltimore play this week, sorry, you can't go against them. They were absolutely fantastic. Their O-line was a little bit dubious, so I'm past the first half, but I just think they got too much for Kansas City. I don't think that Kansas has got enough weapons. They can't rely on Rice and Kelsey throughout there. They need more, and Hardman is not good enough anymore. You can see he fucked up so many times. again, it's one of these games that Kansas could come out and destroy them. But you got to just give Baltimore credit. I got to go with them. Would it surprise me if Kansas City snatch a win? No, it wouldn't surprise me because when you've got Patrick Mahomes, a quarterback, you can't. It's going to be like something like 3 points difference maximum because he's a creator. He can run it, he can throw it, he can do all sorts of things with it. But I think we have to, well, for me, we have to dock our hats off to Baltimore and be like, you guys destroyed your oppositions. They're going up, peaking at the right time, it seems, and I can't see past it. So I just, last week I said everything points towards Buffalo, but I picked Kansas. I think most things point towards Baltimore, but I'm sticking with Baltimore this week because I do think that Patrick Mahomes is better than Lamar. I do think they got key pieces better than the other side, but I just think that as a team, even there, Baltimore got too many weapons. So I'm going with Baltimore.
Yeah, I mean, I tend to agree. If it was not Kansas City, I'd give Baltimore 2 touchdowns. If it was Kansas City's going to employ the officials, and we all know how that goes. So, I mean, Baltimore has just rolled all year. They lost to Steelers and Colts. They lost a weird one to the Browns. They actually lost both games to the Steelers that they played. But other than that, they just rolled all year.
Yeah.
I was trying to look if they played already, and they did not.
No, not this season.
Yeah. So I don't know. I think probably 5-6 point win from Baltimore.
Yeah, I said 3-6. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think it will be another one of those where it never really was in doubt, but it will be closer than it probably should have been. The line's 3, Baltimore -3, which so Vegas thinks it's a pick 'em because again, you take away 3 points for the home team, just generally. So they think it's going to be closer than most probably do. But yeah, I think that Baltimore's a different squad, and they probably. I'm pretty confident saying they absolutely win this one, just by how much. So
yeah, I think you said it's Pick'em. I think the only reason it's Pick'em is because of Patrick Mahomes, because you're never out the game with Patrick Mahomes by yourself. Right. You're never out. And I don't think there's many quarterbacks you can say that about. So there's that, and also, do you see Harbaugh in the changing rooms, just like balling it, dancing, everything? That team, they're united, man. They're totally united together. They all seem locked in together, and that's why I got them for this game.
Yeah, well, they seem to have everything. I mean, they have the best defense in the NFL. The offense has finally come around. That was always their downside. Lamar would throw picks and fuck up at big times, and he just hasn't this year. Is he saving it all for this weekend? I think that's the way that you could see the Chiefs win, but I just don't. I don't see it happening. So
I'm cheering for the Chiefs, by the way. I am cheering for the Chiefs in this game. But I just think Baltimore win it. If the Chiefs win this, I'm like, yes, let's fucking go. I am cheering for them. I'll be honest. I don't know what it is, but Paddy Mahomes. Let's talk about Kansas City. This might be his last game. Swifty Nation. We want to see Swifty in the Super Bowl. Do you know what I mean? Loving life. But yeah, I'm rooting for Chiefs, but I think the Baltimore Ravens win it.
Okay. Yeah. I'd rather not see Taylor Swift anywhere ever near a football field again, but that's just my personal opinion. I mean, we have different. And there goes the channel because we just got attacked by 9 million Swifties. But yeah, I don't know. I think Kansas City's had their time, and get out of the way and let somebody else. And Baltimore's been right there for so long. It's like when do they finally break through? When do they finally, you know,
Yeah.
get to show out? And I still think it's this year. And ultimately, I think they are the Super Bowl champions. At least, I think there's a pretty good chance. So,
we'll do
Kelsey,
this.
35. Damn.
We'll do this one at the end, Nathan. Let's get through the other one, and then we'll do the 4 remaining quarterbacks after that. Then, after we do Lions, Niners, so put a heart on that, so we remember to go back to it.
All right. So we're both taking the Ravens.
Yeah.
That it will be it'll be the Chiefs then, but you know that.
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
Now we go over to the National Football Conference, the best conference. This is a game I'm looking forward to. We get the primetime game. The Detroit Lions, for the first time in this playoff, leave the confines of Ford Field, go out to the Bay, and take on the Niners. Well, we'll get to that in a second. Sunday, January 28th, 6:30 p.m. Eastern on Fox. I'm kind of disrespected by this line, and
I just seen it. -7. You gotta be kidding me.
I think Vegas can go fuck themselves, and I hope Campbell's. I mean, it's kind of MCDC's thing. I think he's going to be disrespected by the line too, and I think this is one of the crazy ones. Like, how do you? Nothing I've seen is Niners -7. I just don't see it. So, and again, I have bias, so I could be wrong, but I don't.
No, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. You're not.
So,
I don't have any bias, and you're not wrong. That's way too much.
Yeah. They both played close games. I mean, both teams have played really close games. So, I mean, they beat the Packers, the 7 seed Packers by 3. If we're doing common opponents, I mean, the Lions beat the Packers. Packers beat the Lions too, but yeah, I didn't see enough out of San Francisco to give them that much credit. Again, common opponents during the regular season, the Niners lost to the Vikings. They lost to the Rams. Everybody lost to the Ravens, but Bengals and Browns were their 5 losses. So, yeah, I hope this goes on a bulletin board and goes on that chip and gets us ready to go. So,
cool.
Yeah.
So yeah, you don't being that -7 disrespectful. You have to bet the Lions on that. You have to go with Lions on that. On that line, you just have to. It's way too much. Do you know what I mean? Obviously, go with money line. It's gonna be bam bam Niners gang, baby. They're gonna win this game. I think it's be close first half, and I think that San Francisco are gonna then pull away from the Lions. I love the Lions. Great fairy tale story. I'd love nothing more than to make the Super Bowl. I generally would love to see them in the Super Bowl. That would be a great occasion. I just don't think Kyle Shanahan makes 2 big mistakes like back-to-back games like that. I just don't think it happens. I think you get a blip, and I think that will kick him in gear for this week. And I think he's going to get them all up because, if they had a bye week, they're a bit rusty coming into that game. They were lucky to win it. I think they know and acknowledge they were lucky to win it. And they know what's coming to town. If you're not ready for the Lions, that toughness, then, you're not going to win it. And they will be ready. I will no doubt that they will be ready. I think you've got 2 average quarterbacks, but I'd actually put probably. We'll go into quarterbacks in a little bit. I think Purdy might be the weak link. But I think you can see these gadgets come out with Debo, with Kittle. He's going to start McCaffrey. He's going to have so many gadgets coming into this game that he's going to be confusing everybody. I think that the best thing that happened to the Niners is that close game against the Green Bay Packers. I think if they had beaten the Green Bay Packers, I probably would have gone Lions in this game. Like beating them in the sense resoundingly. Yeah, that is not just sneaking through. And I don't see past the Niners on this. I say my heart says the Lions because I want to see Dan Campbell Super Bowl. I want to see them win it. I want to see all that. And I hope I'm wrong with this. I genuinely do hope it's another one where I'm picking San Francisco, but I hope I'm wrong in some ways because the Lions are like the dream story, the fairy tale story here. So I wouldn't be sad if they won it, but I just think that the Niners are gonna pull away by the end, and I don't think that the Lions are going to have enough. I think they've given their hearts after the last two games. I just don't think they've got enough in this game. That's where I'm at with it.
So I think that I'm taking the Lions, obviously.
Yeah.
Big shock. But one, I think that the way that this team is built, I think underdog fits us so much better than
Yeah.
favorite. I also think that there's just so much damn grit in this team that's going to be tough. I mean, it's going to be tough to beat them. Purdy is, again, an inexperienced quarterback that hasn't had much playoff experience, and I think that that's exploitable. I also, the Lions offense can score from anywhere, and Goff's been damn near perfect the entire postseason. So yeah.
I know I get you, man. I do get you there. I do generally do. I just think if Bosa, Young, they know they're going into a hard game. They know it, and I think
Yeah.
they're going to wear them down. I think that's what I'm thinking. They want to the way they performed against the Packers. They're not going to be happy this week. They're going to pounce on that, and that's why I'm thinking it'd been better for you if they'd have trashed the Packers because then I think they were slept on the Lions. I don't think they're sleeping on the Lions one bit. I think they're prepared for it. I think they're going to be gritty. They've got some gritty players. I think they're going to be in the trenches. I think it's going to be tough. But I then think that they're just going to the skill players will take it away by the end. That's where I'm at. I'm not taking anything away from the Lions. I think you're 100% right. The toughness, the gritty is there. But if the Niners aren't prepared for that with Bosa and Young and all them, then yeah, the Lions are going to win this. But I just can't see them going 2 weeks on the bounce with everything on the line and not be prepared. And as I say, I don't think Purdy's throwing that much in this game. I don't think he's going to be doing that much. I think there's going to be a lot of running. I think they will be throwing, obviously, in occasions, but I think there's going to be a lot of gadget plays. And that's why they're going to take it away from the Lions defense, I think. The front line, anyway, the D lines. They think they're going to take it away from that and neutralize the grittiness of Hutchinson and all them and just get the ball out quickly. And I think that they're going to play to their strong points against the maybe Lions' weak points in the sense of wherever Hutchinson is, just go somewhere else and just pass it down. I don't know. I'm pulling for you. I genuinely am pulling for you because I love this story and I get everything you're saying. But I don't know. I just think Shannon's too clever for that. I don't know.
Well, it comes down to a strength on strength, weakness on weakness. So
Yeah.
to win this game, San Francisco's going to have to throw the football. Lions' strong suit is run defense. It's San Francisco's going to have to throw the football against what is a very bad secondary in Detroit, which is played better, but a bad secondary. So you're going to have to rely on Purdy. As we've seen so far in the playoffs, that's a shaky proposition to rely on Brock Purdy. Uh,
Yeah.
so, and then you go to the other side of it, and you can run. I think San Francisco is 28th against the run, and shit, the Lions would love to just hand the ball off to Gibbs and Montgomery. Um, so that's I don't know. I think there's an edge there with if Goff doesn't have to throw the football, and we could just run, like I, that makes it a nice, easy day for us. So
Mhm.
I think there's going to be more surprise here than you think. I think that the Lions run the football, and this is going to be, you know, 14-10, 21-24 type game. And yeah, I really do think the Lions come on top of this one. So
Yeah, I can see it. I can see it. I agree with Josie when she says if the Knights don't come in with some fire this week, they don't deserve it. Yeah, if they,
mhm,
this is where I'm at. If they bring the fire, I just can't see them losing. That's all. But hey, it'll be an interesting game. It's going to be a hell
mhm.
of a game, wherever happens. And as I say, I'm looking forward to this game. This is a game I'll be watching the next day, and I'll watch it in full rather than just 40 minutes because it
Okay.
is one of those games. So I'll be keeping off Twitter and all that because I don't want to see the results. So I'll definitely be watching it in its full so we can give it um, what it deserves. But yeah, we'll see. Oh,
um, but yeah, so I don't know. I think it will be, and in the prospect of the Detroit Lions going to the Super Bowl is that's insane, insane, absolutely,
yeah.
um, absolutely insane. So we'll see. I think it'll be a good football game, and yeah, I'm looking forward to it. So yeah.
With that, we'll go back to Nathan's. I think this is pretty easy for me. This list um, that you've given Nathan. For me, um, I've got Mahomes, Lamar, Goff, Purdy.
Yep.
And I think Mahomes, slight gap, Lamar, a little bit more of a bigger gap, Goff, and a slight gap, Purdy. Um, yeah, that's how I would rank them all four, to be quite honest with you. So,
Yeah. Yeah, I can't argue with any of that. I think that's easily the way it kind of goes. Yeah, and Goff, and the difference is that you know they rely a lot on Mahomes and Lamar Jackson, and the two NFC teams don't rely on their quarterbacks. Like it's fine that they're not great. They're more of the game manager style, the play good defense style, that kind of mold. So you don't need them to be great. You just need them to just do your job. That's what it comes down to. You're there to do a job. Do your damn job, and
mhm,
everybody wins. So
I agree.
um,
Right, just touch upon this quickly then, because I don't want to go too much over, but just some of the hirings recently, Mikey. We got Antonio
mhm,
Pierce, head coach. He's been now been appointed officially with the Raiders, which is not surprising. Personally, I
mhm.
wouldn't have chosen him, but he's in. And same with Jared Mayo. He's in with the Patriots again. I would have chosen him. Two hirings that I would not have. I don't agree with. But yeah, what do you think of those two hires?
Yeah, I don't like the I don't like any of the hires that have happened so far.
No.
Um, I'm not a big fan of hiring. Uh, I don't think you should hire until after the Super Bowl because you never know who the hell's going to come out,
Yeah.
and obviously you're not. I don't know if you can. I think it has to be a permission thing where, like, if you wanted to interview Aaron Glenn, you have to have permission, I believe. Um,
Yeah, yeah. They
but
can't interview him now. They'll be able
mhm,
to interview him in the next. There's rules around it, obviously, um,
yeah,
but I think they can interview him like in the next day or two, and then they can't interview for X amount of times, and then they can interview. So that's why they tend to say that. I agree with you totally because there's people in the past. who've not been able to interview, and they've hired people, which is ridiculous. I think anyway. I will watch it. I think I've seen it, quarterback. I think I've seen. Is it one with Justin Fields in it and From and all them? If it is, I've seen it, but I will watch it.
Yeah,
University of Arizona. Yeah, I'm with you. I think we both agree on that. The only one that I do like is called new GM in Washington, and I like this guy. He's a Bang Bang Niners gang. He is Adam Peters, huge general manager. He used to be with the 49ers, assistant general manager. I think that's a hell of a hire for them. I think it's a step in the right direction. So I like the fact, personally, I like the fact that you go for a GM first over a head coach. So for me, I'm with you in line. I'd rather have all the GM set because you should be able to do them all now. Well, most of them now, and then just leave the coaching until after the Super Bowl, as you say. Have like a 2-week window for everybody. There you go. You can do your interviews, everything like that. 2-week window, choose who you want, type of thing. This one, Mahomes, because I've heard about it. I have heard. I've not seen it, but I've heard all about it. Yeah, I need to watch it. Thank you, guys. I forgot about that actually. So, okay. Obviously, we still need a new head coach in Atlanta, Carolina. Carolina also, we need a general manager. Chicago Bears, apparently, we've just Shane Waldron, is it? Waldron from Seattle. He's now the OC with the Chicago Bears. So Bears down.
Really?
For us. Yeah, Shane Waldron, is it? From Seattle.
Okay.
So that's what he's apparently is about to sign today. So I think with that hire, we're going to another show, but with that hire, I think they're going to stick with Fields. But we can discuss that another time. Who else? Obviously, general manager needed in Raiders. Los Angeles Chargers needs a head coach and general manager.
The job no one wants.
Yeah, no one wants that. Tennessee Titans need a head coach. Washington still need a head coach. So yeah, I mean, and there's also a lot of Seattle as well need a head coach. There's a lot of OCDC positions and stuff like that. But the Falcons are on second interviews already. They have a second interview with Brian Callahan. They've got a second interview with Bill Belichick, Jim Harbaugh. Avero, Panthers DC. They've interviewed Steve Wilkes, Anthony Weaver, Bobby Slowick, Joe Brady. They've interviewed nearly everybody. The Panthers have got Brian Callahan in for a second interview scheduled. They've interviewed a ton of people, same people. Todd Monken's an interesting one. So yeah, and same for GMs and stuff like that. Mike Disner from Lions withdrew from the GM search in the Panthers. He took his name out. Yeah, withdrew. So he took his name out. Well, I mean, don't blame him. If you want to be a GM, that's not the place you go to be a GM, is it? And then Vegas, they've got Trey Brown, Ed Dodds, Terrence Gray, Tom Telesco, and Kelly Klein, all in for interviews or scheduled. And then Jesus, you got Chargers, they've interviewed everybody, and they're conducting the second round coming up now, and they've done a lot as well for general manager. Seattle, they're on the second interviews now. They got Ivero from the Panthers, Patrick Graham, Ben Johnson is scheduled. He hasn't interviewed yet. Mike Kafka, Raheem Morris, Dan Quinn, Bobby Slowick, Frank Smith, all scheduled, I believe, for a second interview. And then we got Aaron Glenn. He's had his interview with the Titans. So he's already had that one. Second interview scheduled as well for Brian Callahan, and no one else yet, but there'll be lots of other people. Washington, they've interviewed Eric Bieniemy, Aaron Glenn is scheduled, Ben Johnson scheduled, Mike McDonald not scheduled yet, Bobby Slow is scheduled. Anyway, the interesting name out there, which I didn't see coming, was David Shaw, Stanford head coach. I don't get that. He's been interviewed by the Chargers and the Titans. I don't get why people are interviewing him. I don't get it. I don't understand it. In the sense of he's not a good head coach. Is it because of the Rooney Rule? Because if it is, that sucks. Do you know what I mean? Because he's not a head coach in this league, I don't believe. My opinion.
Right. Yeah.
So
it probably is a Rooney Rule thing. Usually is. So, which is not. That's not how the rule was supposed to happen, but it more than often is. So
that means the Rooney Rule does not work if that's the case. That just sucks, man.
right.
It wouldn't surprise me if Andy Reid retires after the season. Rumours are that he's considering retiring, but I don't think he will. I mean, when you've got a gadget player like Mahomes, I think he's probably like, oh, I'm just having too much fun. He's probably having the most fun he's ever had with a player like Mahomes. So I can see him staying, but we don't know what he's like health-wise and stuff like that. He might decide to retire. I don't know.
Yeah, I could see that. And I mean, I think it's going to depend on people like Kelsey coming back, or that kind of deal. So
yeah. No, so probably to jump in and do. I know you're going to be busy now and moving forward this week. You've got a trial to cover. I might do a few afternoons, just going a bit more in depth with the hirings or firings to see what's going on. Just because it's like get some content out there. I need to get more content out there. So I enjoy it. So we'll do that. I'm sure you. I was surprised not to see a picture of the Lions. You haven't done one yet.
Yeah. I'm kind of saving it for. I'm saving it for a summary because it's going to be.
Okay.
I mean, it's kind of an emotional. It's an emotional thing. Like it's been. Like being a Lions fan has not been fun for a really long time, and it finally is. So yeah, but kind of been saving that one for our inevitable loss to somebody.
Well, you never know. You never know. I get it. I've been Chicago's Bear fan for a week and a half now. I get the passion. I understand it. No, I get you, man. I get you, and that's fair. But yeah, I want to do a bit more content. I need to do more research about the mock drafts as well. They'll be coming out before long, guys. We'll be doing mock drafts, but we'll also probably doing separate streams about stuff as well, players and stuff like that. We'll do a cap stream as well. I mean, yeah, I think we're gonna have a lot of content coming out. We will do some separate as well because we can't always do stuff at the same time. So we'll try and do stuff separately as well. Have you got anything else, mate?
No. Trial is supposed to start tomorrow, but there's weirdness going on and some hearing today. So the Ethan Crumbly parent trial. But yeah, other than that, no, not a whole lot going on. So
cool. Well, I've got the Krieger trial, which I'll see Josie and Sarah at in about 45 minutes. And the rest of you, Nathan, everybody, thanks for always being here. We'll do a lot more content moving forward. Try and do something daily if we can. And if it's just even one of us, but this is a good time for me. But then you could do later on, which is a good time for most people, Mighty. So, right, guys, thank you very much. We will love you. See you later. Take care. Bye-bye, guys. Ta-ra. Go. Bang, bang, Niners gang.